Hello, my name is Pacha and welcome to another tips and tricks video. As you might know, the minimum size for guest path in this game is 4 meters. However, in this video I want to show you how you can also make 3 meter and 2 meter wide paths with a little bit of help with the queue path. Before we start, two words of warning, so to say. The game, of course, is not built or intended to use these smaller paths as guest path. The path works fine for single persons like your staff or single guests, but however, if you have larger group of guests like 3 or 4 persons, there can be a little bit of bugging and weird guest behavior when they walk on these paths. They can walk on them, but it can look a little bit weird sometimes, so keep that in mind. Also, the second thing I want to talk about, sometimes the game doesn't want you to build these paths in certain places. I have no idea why. Maybe someone else who has more insight in how this game works could tell you that. But if you have encountered a problem where the game doesn't want you to build the smaller paths, then just try to move the path a little bit up or down, or left to the left or to the right, and sometimes this does the trick and then you can build these paths. But keep that in mind that sometimes it can be a little bit buggy because the game is not built with the intention in mind that you also build 3 meter and 2 meter wide paths. So let's get started on how to actually make these. Okay, let's say you have your habitat here in front of you, like this artwork habitat, and you want to make a smaller path connected to these bigger paths because you want to have a little bit more of realism, you want to have a smaller size, and maybe you want to have a little bit of a cabin that isn't 4 meter wide, which is fairly big if you ask me, and you just want to have a smaller path there in general. Now what you want to do is go into your path section, go to your queue path section, and take one of these queue paths. It doesn't matter which one. I usually use the first one because this is the first one that gets selected. But any one of these works. Then you go to either of these sides you want to start the path with. Let's start with this one. And you want to basically lay out your path as normal just by using the queue path. So we want to go maybe up here, and then we want to connect here. You can see you can't connect the queue path to the other side of the normal path because the game, of course, is not intended to have 2 entrances to your queue. So we just go as close as possible to the other path like that, and then we leave it like that. Now you go in, click on your queue path and on your right ticket booth and demolish it. Sounds weird, but if you then go into the normal path section and select any path, let's take this one, you can see that the game kind of memorizes that there was a queue path and forms the normal path over what the queue path was. If you do then the same for the next one, you see it also memorizes this and places the normal path in the size of the queue path. Same for this one, same for this one. Let's go through this. This of course also works for the 3 meter path, as you can make the queue path in the size of 2 meter, 3 meter and 4 meter. For the convenience, we use the smallest one. So let's finish this here. So like this. The last section you will see there will not be a queue booth here, as I don't know why, but it is what it is. So you can delete that, and then you can connect the path to your normal path again, and you end up with a smaller path that you then can use for smaller builds, for more realistic builds. Pretty nice. There is, however, you can't really get rid of this narrowing effect here on this path, as it has to connect to the bigger path. This is also the case if you build an 8 meter path next to a 5 meter path and connect them. They always have to narrow it down so that it can connect to the smaller size. The last thing I want to show you, or I want to talk about with you, is what you do when you connect 2 smaller paths together, and what problems can occur with that. So as you see, we have 2 small paths here and we want to connect them. So we just go into the queue section and we select our path, and then we go over there. Maybe have a little of a nice curve in it like that. And of course we cannot connect them to another because 2 entrances, so we press Control. Okay, this is too close, so we go one back, press Control to separate them and place our path. Then we go again in and we place the path again like that. And now you see you have this weird narrowing here that looks a little bit weird and doesn't look nice, and we want to get rid of that. How do we get rid of that? Well, easy trick. So we go back a few steps, so until we are kind of at the half point. Then we delete this ticket red booth here, and now we don't replace the path, but we go in again in the queue section, select this path because this is now a separated path, and connect it to this side. So we have a new ticket right booth here. Then we go in again and deselect this one and place a path here. Of course, because two ticket booths, you cannot connect this side. So we leave it empty for now. So then you do delete this one again, like that, or you can go both sides now, it doesn't matter, like that. You select this one, and as you can see, the game memorizes that there was a queue path here, so it connects this one and makes it also narrow. And now you have a nice connection between these two narrow paths without the weird effect here that the path tries to go into the 4-meter section again. Right, this was already it. This was already a little bit of a tutorial on how to build narrow paths. If you have more questions, let me know in the comments down below. If you feel especially happy, maybe also consider giving this video a like. And if you are really in a happy mood today, maybe also consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. We are close to 1,000 subscribers, and you would make my day if you would support this channel and help me grow to give you more awesome videos in the future. Okay, I see you in the next video maybe, and until then, have a great time, stay safe of course, and I see you then. Bye bye everyone.